Okay, let's see if this works. I'm at the special tree where I leave peanuts. Yes, it's here. Okay, so I put the peanuts in strategic places, and if I'm lucky, a certain bird stops by. And I saw it just landing in the tree. Hang on. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. How cool is that? It's a type of magpie. I don't know if it's called Eurasian. In Danish, we basically call it the forest magpie as opposed to the city magpie. And they have like a kind of reddish brownish coat. Then they have these really beautiful tiny blue feathers on the side of the wing. And they're really smart, like all magpies. And they're also really shy. A lot more shy than the normal magpies. So the fact that I've managed to build up a friendship with this one tells you a bit about how long I've been doing this. It's been more than a year. Hi. Oh my god, it's so close. Yeah, when I went out on this walk, I was hoping this would happen because it happened the other day, just as I was standing there putting up the nuts. But I didn't think I would be lucky enough for it to happen one more time. You can see how close I am. I don't know if maybe it seems less impressive on video, but just because I know how extremely shy these birds are, it feels super special that this one trusts me so much now. So I'm just gonna stand here a moment and see if it comes back. There it is. See it? I can't zoom in when I have it in the selfie kind of mode, but you can see it's jumping around. Because I put the nuts all on different little branches. Always some in the same places and always some to surprise it. Because they're such smart animals, it's more fun for them if it's a little bit of a surprise. So dang cool. I'm gonna leave it be, leave it to feast, continue my evening walk. I've been having a pretty bad cold, and it just seems to not want to let up. And I've been, as I spoke about in my last video, I've been spending most of this cold being in full-on Swifty mode. Pretty funny. I've really been enjoying it, and I just keep going down deeper and deeper the rabbit hole. But I figured it's a good thing to get out of it. It's so pretty. I'm at the cemetery as usual. The landscaping. It's so nice. A really nice evening, so quite a few people out. So I'm trying to like find a route to dodge people. Excuse me. So yeah, what else? I feel like I'm only able to talk about Taylor Swift trivia at this point because I've pretty much brainwashed myself. But I guess I could also do a little life update. I've been hired to do press on social media for a little theater festival. I mentioned it previously because I was helping them out, just being like a host kind of thing. So it's really exciting for me to get hired to do press for someone else because I just have the experience that I made being an artist and doing all the press and social media for myself. And to be honest, I'm not great at the traditional press. My strength is more in social media, and I've had pretty good luck with attracting people to events and get them to show up. And that's often something that creatives can struggle with a bit. So what you'll usually see is that people, they spend so much time and energy doing really, really great, amazing work, really great stuff. And then they'll have very few people show up because they just haven't spent much energy trying to get people to come. I think they just kind of think that if they make something great, people will come. But unfortunately, life is not fair. And that's rarely what happens. I think especially when you live in a big city like Copenhagen, where there's just so many options. You really have to make an effort to get people to come. I've gone to sort of a more quiet part of the cemetery, trying to avoid people. But I'm kind of wondering, maybe I should show you something cool. Yeah, come on. I have somewhere I want to show you. It's just over here. It's a place that I've been coming to regularly because I just find it like really peaceful and really nice. I'm not religious myself, and this is a mainly Christian cemetery, but there are also parts for other religions. I don't really have an overview. I know there's an atheist part, and I know there's some what do you call that, Orthodox Christian, like the this Russian section. Excuse me. But there is also a section made especially for Buddhism, and I like to go there even though I don't consider myself a Buddhist in any way, but they just have a really nice spot. So hang on, we're just almost there. See? That right there is a stupa, and the idea is that you kind of walk around it to say a prayer. At least that's my understanding. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And I can't remember which way you're supposed to walk around, but what I do really like is the fact that you can light a little candle here. So sometimes I like to do that and just take a moment. And also I like this big old cemetery and the beautiful building in the back. So you can go here, and there are always candles. That's for incense. Yeah, here it says candles for free abundance. It means you can just take them. So see where we want to put this little lantern here. I can throw this out somewhere. Oh, there's actually a candle in here already. I'll take that instead. Put this back for someone else. So I'm just gonna sit here, just to the side. The stupa is right in front of me, just there. And I have that spent candle. I'll bring it to some trash thing somewhere. So we recently passed midsummer, and it's kind of at the height of summer. It's actually July 1st today, and I kind of have most of this month off technically, but then I mean, when you work for yourself, you're not ever really off, and I'm super busy trying to get more of the renovations of my apartment done. It just feels never ending, honestly. I mean, I know it's a luxury problem. I'm lucky that I have an apartment. But luxury problems are also problems, I guess. I usually say that, everyone has problems. That's just how it is. People are always gonna be complaining, and that's totally okay. But what you can do is you can measure how well people are doing by what they have to complain about. So, like, I remember one time I was talking to someone, she was complaining about how she was sad having returned from her holidays. And I kind of thought, those are some pretty good problems to have, to be back at your good job after a nice holiday, and you're just kind of upset about the change or like the naturalness of having to go back home. That's pretty good. And I guess having the problem of renovating my apartment is a pretty good one as far as problems go. Not that that's my only problem by far, no way. But getting this social media press gig thing is definitely progress. I've been having a pretty weird season. Because normally I make a living just doing my own art, and I've just had like the longest stretch of just getting rejected on all my applications. It's coming up to the point where it's been a year where I've only gotten one grant out of, I don't know how many I applied for, between 10 and 20. And normally I have a pretty good hit rate. Nobody has a 100% hit rate, but I've had a pretty good one. I don't have the numbers for it, but I was getting by fine for a lot of years. And I don't know what happened. It's just I do kind of know what happened, but it's a long story. Part of it is because I started this land art project down on Falster, and it's a new way of working for me. And then it's also to do with the fact that I had a weird time in my life where I was doing a lot of activism and politics. I ran for local office in the municipal election on my own, for my own little list with no party or anything. It was pretty crazy, but it was fun until it went horribly wrong in the end. I had a massive shitstorm, ruined my life for a while. And it's kind of been ever since, like before the COVID pandemic, I had a pretty good thing going on. I was making a living doing these social art projects together with different people, like groups of people, often like marginalized in some way. And I would kind of take them through this process where I would teach them a lot of design stuff, because I'm educated as a designer originally. And together we would make up a project where I already had like a rough idea, but I kept the concept really open so that the people I was doing it with could shape it together with me. I need to switch this angle. I'm getting tired of my hand. Hang on. Yeah, so excuse me. I was doing that and doing great, and then obviously when the pandemic was happening, I couldn't do social art projects anymore. And then I managed to get funding to do more sort of solo art. Like I did a mural, and I had a period I was doing these little street art flower things, planting them around the city. And it was going all right. And then during the pandemic, I just fell into this Twitter universe. And I had already been on Twitter before, but I just it went a bit crazy. I was kind of a little bit too good at it. I would get between a half and a whole million impressions a month, like regularly. Like I had like a year where I was at that level. And then when I ran for the election, and Oh, it's a long story, but about a year ago, I managed to buy the first plot of land for my land art project, and I had funding to start it out, and I got funding to do an exhibition. And I kind of thought, okay, now I'm getting back on it. I have my new thing. It's gonna be good. And then it just kind of went away. Like then I just stopped getting funding. And I think it's not like I'm not being paranoid and saying like it's like happening to me on purpose. It's more like I think because now I'm trying to have my own. I have my own platform, so I'm trying to work in different ways. So I've been applying for funding for different types of projects than usual, and I think I'm just not very good at that yet. And I'm also thinking maybe I'm going about it the wrong way. Maybe I'm focusing too much on getting other people to come and show their stuff and doing events, and maybe I should just focus more on doing my own art there. So that's what's next. I have an idea of what I'm gonna do next, but I'm not gonna tell you about that. But I have an idea for a social art project that I want to do. So I think maybe that's what I need to get back to, because I always thought that was my strongest work. Like, it's very un-Danish to compliment yourself, but in all honesty, I know I can make really beautiful pieces of art, but the way that you work when you make pieces like that, where you have to sell them to people and have them exhibited, and there's so much social stuff in the bad way, where you have to like get in with the right gallerists and know the right people and be interesting to buyers and be a good investment, and I don't like that stuff at all. So that's why I started doing these social art projects instead, because it's just so much more fun. And as long as I can manage to get some funding, I can just do what I dream up. And I just ask foundations or local municipals or councils or whatever I'm applying for if they want to make this happen. And I used to be doing well doing that. So I guess it's time to get back to doing that, and we'll see if it works. And if it doesn't, I don't know. I guess I'm working with doing some social media and press, so that's all right, because it's a nice festival. So, and then I'm doing this little YouTube channel with you guys, trying to learn how to do this stuff. And now I'm gonna take the candle, throw it out, and I think I'm gonna end it here. I ended up talking for more than 15 minutes, so this is a weird hybrid between a walking around video and one of my rough talks. At least I'm living up to my rough talk thing in terms of looking rough. So I have that going for me. All right, I'm gonna send you off with a bit of images from my walk home. Thanks for listening.